Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another two-player co-op quick hits edition. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
How we doing?
Pretty good. Tired, but you probably heard about that on the podcast, so don't need to go on that again. So yeah, we're posting this on December 23rd, 2 days away from the Big 2-5, which also is known as Christmas. Never called it the Big 2-5, but for some reason I did there. So what we want to talk about today with all of you, we know we've only been on YouTube since July?
Yes.
Or June, I forget. I think it was since
July,
July. So last year around this time for our second episode ever, we went through our Games of Christmas Past episode. We went through as far as we could remember, and Sean did a whole bunch of research, and he looked at old family videos and stuff, and looked at all the different video games and systems and everything we've gotten through the years on Christmas. We're not going to do that again today, but if you want to hear that, go back on SoundCloud or iTunes or any podcast services around the world.
It's a good one. We got some nice sound bits in there.
That was one of the most fun ones once you figured out how to use the voice.
Yeah, it never worked the first time, but
that was one of the most fun episodes we ever did, and that was the second episode we ever did. But we want to talk about you, what we want to talk about today to you are some of our favorite Christmas video game memories. I'll start, just the big one is Christmas 1987. And it's not only is it my first real video game memory, it's one of my first memories, period, was, so when we were little, the way we would do Christmas morning is Sean would always spend the night in my room that night on a sleeping bag because I'm not giving up my bed. So he'd sleep in a sleeping bag. We'd stay up talking all night. What do we think Santa's going to bring us? How excited are we? All this stuff. And then it would get to be like 4:35 in the morning, and we would wake up way before Mom and Dad did. And we'd sit there like, hey, we're up. I guess we're awake. I wonder when Mom and Dad are going to wake up.
Which is weird because if that were today, we would just be like,
beep,
Mom,
text,
we're awake.
text,
send,
text, or
Kids
log
today
into Find My
don't know the
iPhone
struggle.
and set off the ping the phone or something. So we would always do that, and then the tradition was we would walk out hand in hand, eyes closed, into the living room while once we got the camcorder, Dad would have the big, TV style camcorder, and he'd be recording us as we walked in, and we'd walk in, eyes closed, and we'd say 1, 2, 3, open them, and we'd see what Santa brought us. Santa never wrapped our presents; he always left them out so we could just see them when we opened.
Everybody I've ever talked to about that finds that so weird
That they weren't wrapped.
Yeah. Like I guess that's what we grew up with, and so that's normal to us. I don't think it's weird, but they're like, yeah, but now you don't get to open them, and it's like, yeah, but you just open your eyes, and it's like,
it's just like
present
awesome overload.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I never thought it was weird, but everybody I've ever talked about that,
I don't think
it's
it's
strange.
And then you've got presents. I mean, everybody's traditions are different, so maybe if you don't have a lot of presents to open, maybe that's why it's different. But yeah. But so 1987, we walk out. And we open our eyes, and I know I remember this more than you do, but I just remember looking there, and there was the little crappy wooden table, kind of like this one. Remember the brown one that we had?
I think so,
brown.
yeah.
And sitting on it was the Nintendo Entertainment System with Mario, Zelda, and golf. Or did Dad buy golf after the fact? Maybe we just had Mario and Zelda.
But I loved that golf game.
It was awesome. And we were just, but I wonder why we were so... Like, I remember being like, oh my God, it's the Nintendo. But it's not like, we weren't getting like Nintendo power at that point. We didn't have the internet.
Right. What did we even know about
commercials? I get. Oh, maybe it was looking through like the Sears. Remember, we would love to get the Sears or the JCPenney catalog and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, how did people find out about stuff?
I don't know.
Internet?
I still don't know how people like pay for stuff before like credit cards, like or debit cards.
Yeah,
cash and checks, and like how did you even like I don't know, that's a whole other, we could do a whole podcast on that. But yeah, that is definitely my earliest and absolutely my best video game Christmas video game memory is that first Christmas. And I think was it that day that the infamous mom just kept running into the first Goomba I feel like that was
It was
probably the
probably
first day we
day
hooked it
one.
up,
Yeah.
and then she's like, bleep. Shout out to this guy right here, and this guy, not that guy. But I still don't know why to this day. Why did Mario look like that in Super Mario Brothers? Pew, pew, pew. When
Doesn't fit.
when he was Jumpman in Donkey Kong, he was red and blue. Yeah, I'll never understand that. I'm sure I could Google it. I just haven't yet. So, what's one of your favorite video game memories from Christmas?
Well, so it's funny. I don't know if I've ever brought this up on the podcast, but I know I've talked to you about it, mainly when we're talking about Christmas memories. I get confused on what do I actually remember from my childhood, and what do I just think I remember because of home videos. The Nintendo kind of sounds familiar, even though I was 3. I mean, basically Casey's age, a little older than him. But like, can you imagine Casey having memories from like today, years from now? I don't think he will.
Right.
So that doesn't really bother me that I don't remember that.
Right, because that was
like
before
I think I just
we had
kind of
video
remember.
cameras.
I think I've basically just built these not alternate, but
alternate
fake,
reality.
fake memories based on how you describe this happening. So my really first Christmas memory is the first Christmas
On camera.
we have on video. That was 89, and Santa got me Contra, and he got you Bases Loaded.
To Nintendo.
Bases Loaded to Nintendo. I probably still have
Again,
these
if you go
clips on
back
my phone.
to if you go back and listen to episode 2, there's some hilarious sound bites of us with our crazy squeaky voices and stuff. So,
But yeah, that's probably the biggest Christmas video game memory I have. Just because, I mean, were you as excited when you got your PS4 as you were when you first saw that Nintendo? I feel like probably not.
segue. No, but that's probably
It's just weird to think about. Like, I'm hoping I get Final Fantasy 15 for Christmas, but I'm not going to be like, oh my God! Like,
Right.
I'm not going to freak. I'm just going to be like, oh, sweet. I get to play this finally.
Yeah.
It's just weird how...
finally.
But yeah, it's like the older...
Right.
the younger I was, the further back we go, the more excited I was about everything video game related.
There's nothing that can compare to being a kid.
I mean, I was
especially-
pretty excited when I got the 64.
I thought that would
but-
be your best because I didn't think you really
It's up
remembered
there,
the
yeah.
NES as much. So.
See, I don't remember getting the NES, but yeah, my first Christmas memory was 89 and getting Contra, and then, I mean, that was back when we first got that camcorder, and we would just record everything. So there's all these videos of us playing Contra and putting in the Contra code, and
we were doing Let's Plays before. We were
Let's
doing Let's
Plays
Plays
were-
30 years before we started doing them here, which is
Yeah.
kind of weird.
That's
28
true.
years ago, we were doing Let's Plays. 29 years, 27 years, something like that.
But yeah, that's my first and therefore probably one of my best video game memories from Christmas.
I mean, when I look back, so yeah, but my next memory I was going to talk about was getting the PS4 in 2013, and Mom she did the okie doke on me where, if you remember when the PS4 launched, did I say PS3 or PS4?
I think you said PS4.
Okay, when the PS4 launched, it wasn't like when the Wii launched, but it was pretty close. They were almost impossible to come by. Xbox Ones
Right.
were stacked up everywhere. PlayStation 4s, you could not find them, and it's not because they were shorting them like Nintendo would do. They just everybody wanted
Apple.
that, right? Because it was $100 less. It was a much better system than the Xbox One. Sorry, not sorry. But so Mom and Dad got me Call of Duty Ghosts back when I still liked Call of Duty, and I opened it. It was Call of Duty. At first, I thought it was PS3, and then I turned it over, and on the front, I could see it was PlayStation 4. I was like, "Oh, wait, what?" And then, but she had put a note on it that said, "Sorry, we couldn't get it. This is an
I owe you
IOU."
one PS4.
Blah blah blah. So then we go through all Christmas Day, and I'm like, "This is." I'm kind of calling BS but Mom, she's not the best liar, which is a good trait to have. But she was like, she wasn't really giving anything away. But I was like, I don't believe you. I didn't say that, but I was like, I don't. You wouldn't do this. You just wouldn't get me anything. It's just when it came out, you would just buy it. If you were going to buy it from me, you would buy it and buy a game.
Right.
we get to the end, we go through all the there's nothing shaped like a PlayStation 4 there, so I'm like, well, maybe that's it. And we get through all the presents and everything. I'm like, okay, that's it. And we're just sitting there in the room and everything, and then she walks away and she's like, she does the whole thing. She walks out of the hallway and she's like, oh wait, I found one more present back here. I wonder what this could be. And I was like, but then when I opened it and I saw it was actually the PlayStation 4, I was just like, it was the happiest I've ever been with a system being purchased by me or not, I think, since the NES, probably since the Genesis, I would say, because we were over the moon when we got that thing. Yeah. But if not the Genesis, then the NES. PlayStation 2, I was happy to get it. PlayStation 3, I was happy, but I spent $600 on the stupid thing. So that kind of... And Madden sucked on it, and it was running at like 10 frames per second. So that was a weird experience with the PlayStation 3. But you've probably heard me talk about that here before. So it's not like I was as excited as I was with the Nintendo, but because it can't be when you're not a kid. It's not the same. But it was still like, holy crap! And I immediately took a picture of it and I posted it on Facebook. And actually, the thing I'll see the memory here in a few days when it comes up. My caption was something to the point of, I feel like it's 1987 all over again, and I just got the NES.
Yeah,
like it was so awesome. But when I look back through some of the notes you took last year, it's hard to beat 1990. You got Turtles 2. I got DuckTales. Both of us got NES Play Action Football, which is just weird because
so good.
But it was just weird that we would both. That was probably one of the first, other than Bases Loaded to Nintendo, it was probably one of the first sports games we got. You weren't big into sports games, so it was weird that wasn't just mine. And we also got the NES cleaning kit. But the triple header there of Turtles 2, DuckTales, and Play Action Football is that's pretty dope.
I mean, that's pretty. I mean, you could make the argument those are two. I mean, not Play Action Football, but Turtles 2 and DuckTales, probably two of the top 10 NES games. With your Mario 1, your Mario 3, your Zelda. I mean, it drops off quickly after that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, easily two of the top 10 games, probably.
Yep.
That we got in one day. Yeah.
What else? What are the memories you got?
So another big one for me, as we already kind of touched on, was 1996, maybe. Whenever I got the N64.
Well, if you got it with Ocarina, it was 98.
Did I get it that long after it came out?
I think you got it with Ocarina.
I got it with Ocarina.
Okay, then yeah, you
That
got
was
it.
98.
Yeah.
Jeez. But yeah, when I got the 64, I don't even remember honestly what I got with it.
It
didn't really matter.
Nope.
I got Zelda. I mean, I knew that, my buddy Matt had an N64, so he had like Mario and
Yep.
I don't remember what else.
All I remember seeing you guys play over there was Mario.
He played Mario a lot. That's all I can think of. And I knew that this is a system I'm going to love. And, I've never not liked a Nintendo system. I know I'm going to want this, but I really want it for Ocarina.
Yeah.
That game turned out to be, as I've said many times, my favorite game ever. I mean, it blew my expectations out of the water. I knew it was going to be good. Like, we finally get Zelda in 3D.
I remember watching you play it, and I was just like, this is unreal. Like, Zelda 1 was one, at that time, was definitely my favorite game ever made.
And it took you 17 and a half years to play it.
But when I played it, I played the definitive edition of it. And when we go back, and next year, we're probably, one of our first podcasts of the year is probably going to be, after we do our Game of the Year discussion, we'll probably look back at our top 10 list and see if anything has changed on there.
Is it weird that, I'm going to blow your mind, assuming I'm doing my math correctly. Is it weird that the time between when Ocarina came out and you playing it is longer than the time between you being born and Ocarina coming out?
Wow. When you put it that way, that is weird.
Isn't that weird? It came out roughly 17 years after you were born, and you played it probably 17 to 18 years after it came out.
That is really
right. Is my
weird.
math right?
No, it was about halfway, because when I played it earlier when did I get it? I was almost 35. I got it. When did I play through it? Go back through the podcast to let me know. It was before I played Twilight.
August, September, maybe.
Because when did I get Twilight? It was over the summer, I think. So it was probably about exactly 17 years from the time it came out until I played it.
Yeah.
Which is just crazy. Yeah, that is weird. Thanks for making me feel even older.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
But no, it's funny because I don't know. I'm sure I got another game. What's weird is I never had Mario 64.
Right.
I never had Mario Kart.
That's weird to me that you didn't have Mario Kart.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of the big games. I didn't have. I had Zelda. I honestly don't remember any other games I got with it. And we don't have this on video, or we do, and the tapes are just long gone. So now that
It's
memory
like it
is
never
just
happened. Yeah.
wiped. But I know I had Zelda, Majora's Mask, Perfect Dark, Donkey Kong.
All the wrestling games, all three.
Yeah, I mean, Raw,
We had
Revenge,
WrestleMania.
No Mercy.
No
Oh yeah,
Mercy.
WrestleMania. So 4 wrestling games.
Oh, we did have the. Did we have the
We had
Raw
Raw.
game too? Okay.
Not Warzone or whatever the second one
Right.
was. It was basically the same thing, but that was a turning point for me. That was, I feel like, I mean, I didn't have. We got the Genesis in what, 1990,
91. Yeah.
and I didn't get a new system for 8 years.
That's crazy.
I mean,
7 years.
Well, okay, Saturn. That's true. Saturn
Oh, yeah.
32X, but
I still, God, we're
those are
so.
pretty short-lived. But
I wish I could remember. If we, I wish Dad would remember too. If we just went half and half on that thing with him, or what? Because we didn't get it for a holiday.
no.
We didn't get it for a birthday or Christmas or anything like that. I wish I could remember that because that drives me nuts. But doesn't
doubt
matter
he'd
because it got
remember.
thrown out.
Yeah. But yeah, the year I got the 64 and probably more importantly, Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, I would say it's more important.
I remember getting that game and just, we're done with presents. Okay, plug it in, and just I went to town, and I probably beat it within. I probably beat it before Christmas break was over.
You played that Joker nonstop.
I
yeah.
played it a lot. Yeah.
And that was when I was falling out of video games. That was the year Metal Gear Solid came out, but I didn't play it for 2 years after that on PC. So that's when I was kind of like, I mean, I can remember playing Zelda, but I was like, I'm just not good at this. I'd rather just watch you play. Again, Let's Plays before they were even Let's
Right,
Plays. I'd rather just watch you play it.
Yep.
So the the other memory for me that sticks out isn't even one of my memories, though. Is I think it was Christmas 2012. It must have been 2012 because Nick wasn't 1, so he must have been 2.5. So Casey's age. When I had no idea that she was doing this. We were opening presents under the tree and everything, and there's this rectangular shaped box. And I was like, oh, here you go, Noah and Nick. Here's one from Mommy and Daddy, I guess. They open it, and she was videotaping. And we open it, they're like, the Nintendo Wii. And I go, oh, the Nintendo Wii. Okay, the Wii. Thanks. Yep, you got the Wii. Because in my mind, all I knew of it was a blast playing Guitar Hero with you on it when you would bring it.
Oh yeah.
But I was just like, it's not a real system and blah, blah, blah. I don't know that you brought Wii Sports when you would bring it. You must have, but all I can remember playing is Guitar Hero. But we must have played
I
bowling
definitely
or something.
brought Wii because I feel like I must have.
You must have. But that was just, at the time it wasn't it wasn't a bad memory. It's not like I was mad. It was just like I didn't expect it. And, but it's one of those things where and I've talked about it on the podcast before, but that's where the boys really got into actual video games. Non-touchscreen crap
video
games. Yeah. And to this day, I mean, now they can place it. I can't imagine if we would have tried to use that DualShock 4 when we were 7 or 8 years old with 4 face buttons, 2 triggers on each side, 2 analog sticks, a trackpad. You know what I mean? Versus like we had 3 button controllers, then we got the 6 button with the 2, the 3, and then the 6.
That,
right,
yeah.
right. So
That's
not really
weird.
a memory that affects. There wasn't something that I received, but just a great memory, and it got them on the path to being crazy about video games like their daddy is. So
It's weird to think. I wonder if 10, 15, 20 years from now, whatever, them getting the Wii will be their version of us getting the NES.
Yeah.
In terms of like memories and like, oh God, I'll never forget.
Right, like,
Christmas
where did it all start?
2006 when
Yeah.
we got the Wii, and Nick will be like me, where he's like, I was there. I don't really remember
Right.
it, but I mean, obviously he remembers playing it.
Oh, he remembers dancing to Britney and in One Direction.
Oh God. But yeah, that's weird to think about. Before I get into my last memory, just another weird. So what I was talking about before with, I don't remember anything before. Not that I don't remember anything, but I don't
Right.
remember anything Christmas related really before 1989 because that was when we got the camcorder.
Yep.
Now that I'm thinking about it, it has nothing to do. It's not like, oh, it's just so long ago, I've forgotten. I couldn't name you one thing without really doing some math in my head. One thing I got on any one particular Christmas between like N64 in 1998.
Until last year.
Yeah, probably. Maybe 2 years ago. Well, I got the
Well, you got the
PlayStation 2 years
PlayStation,
ago.
yeah.
So Christmas 1998 to Christmas 2014. That's 16 years. I'm sure I got at least one video game every single year, and I couldn't tell you. I'm sure if I think back through the games I've owned, I'd be like, "Oh, this was definitely a Christmas
Right.
present.
Like,
This
which
was a
ones would I
Christmas
have bought?
present."
Which
But
ones wouldn't I have purchased?
I just don't remember. I know I got Metal Gear Solid 2 for Christmas,
Yeah.
probably in 02.
Came out in 01. I don't know if you would have got it.
Oh, so maybe it was 01. I think I mean, I asked for it because you told me.
Yeah.
To. You're like, I'm like, I don't know what this is. And you basically said, take my word for it.
It must
You
have
want
been
this
01.
game.
It must have been 01.
Yeah. It was right when it came out. So if that was,
Yeah, then it was 01. Because it came out right around September 11th, and they had to change. They actually had to delay the game because, tangent, there was a scene where when Arsenal Gear crashes into New York, it was going to, oh, crap. I think it was going to crash through the Statue of Liberty. It wasn't going to do anything to the towers, but it was going to go through the Statue of Liberty, I think. And they're like, okay, we need to take that cutscene out, and it just needs to. You just see it going towards New York, and then it just stops at Federal Hall. You know, they took.
Right, yeah.
They just were like, no, we can't do that.
Yeah.
But no, it must have been 2001 because it came out in 2001.
But yeah, I don't know. It's weird how the brain or how my brain works. I don't know if you're in the same boat.
No,
but-
it's
So I know.
Just,
Well, that's not true. I know I got the Wii in 06, along with Twilight Princess, and again, I don't remember anything besides Zelda, and it came with Wii Sports. I got my PS2 for Christmas at some point, maybe 2000. When did that come out? I got it years
2000.
after.
It came out 2000.
So
October 2000.
Maybe I got it in 02.
Maybe you got it with
With
you got it
Metal
with
Gear?
Metal Gear. I don't know. It might have been one of those things where you were asking for PlayStation 2, and I said, okay, well, if you're going to get a game with it, get Metal Gear Solid 2.
I got it well after it came out. I know that much. Because I remember going to Uncle Pat's house, and he had a PS2, and we just thought it was
Really?
the coolest thing. Yeah, and I played.
for the
he had-
DVD drive, or did he actually play it?
He had some game. He had SSX, not Tricky.
Oh, there was an
But-
SSX before Tricky?
Yeah, Tricky was like the sequel. And I
Okay.
ended up asking for Tricky because I loved the original one. And I remember just thinking, holy crap, a PlayStation 2, this is unreal. But I don't think I got mine. If it came out in 2000, I bet I got
Yeah,
it.
it came
Maybe
out
I
in
got it
2000.
with Metal Gear.
Yeah, it came
Maybe
out
I just said I wanted a PS2 and I'm looking for games to get with it, and got Metal Gear Solid 2 with it.
October 2000.
But anyway, my last memory, I guess I would have to say, what we just talked about, 2014, when I got my PS4. I feel like that was... So I got the Wii in 06, I got the PS3 in 08, but I never really... I can't think of a single PS3 game I owned that I was just... like all about. There's Metal Gear Solid 4, didn't really pan out.
At the time, yes. Looking back, no. Yeah.
What's it called? Grand Theft Auto 4.
Same thing.
Again, yeah.
Yeah, because you didn't play the Uncharted's back
No.
when you had your 3. You weren't.
I had
you
like
didn't
some of
play
those
God of War
newer like Mortal Kombat games. Like I had some kind of like collection of, I don't know if it was like the Capcom collection. I had some of the, but nothing that like really stood out to me. And I feel like the PS4 is what kind of reined me back into the video game world.
Yeah.
It was kind of my.
That's why we're here.
I don't know. Yeah, really. But yeah, I mean, I'm back. I'm all in now, and it's weird to think that I was never fully out of it. But it got to the point where it was almost like, well, it's Christmas. I feel like I should ask for some video games. Let me go to like GameStop and that looks cool.
Right.
It's just kind of like forced almost. And now it's like, okay, I want this game. I want this game.
And with the 4 though, I was like, okay, Mom, Dad, yes, you should definitely get him one. And here's the bundle you should get: Grand Theft Auto 5 and the digital copy of Last of Us Remastered.
I mean, two
of the best games ever made.
Yep. Going all the way back to Christmas '89 or '90 when we had Turtles and DuckTales. Two more game-changing games.
Yes, 100%.
It's fantastic.
It is fantastic. So those are some of our favorite Christmas memories. If you celebrate Christmas and you've got great video game memories and everything, hit that comment section below and let us know what some of your best memories are. Thank y'all so much for watching this Quick Hits edition. Make sure you keep it turned to 2-player co-op. Actually, I can also say now, go to youtube.com/2player co-op and check out the rest of our videos. Podcasts, Quick Hits, Let's Plays, and all the like. Come on back. Check them all out. But until that time, Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.